What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, hope you're all doing well. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to like, share and subscribe, it does help the channel out. Our goal for 2021 is to hit the 10,000 subs, so make sure you're subbed. Also guys, I just launched my Patreon covering daily stock watches, weekly stock watches, so if that's something that interests you, go ahead and check the link in the description down below. So guys, today we're going to cover what has happened in the last few days with the stock market, with all this bloodshed, and we're going to discuss, is NIO a buy at $40? So with all that said, let's get straight into it. So guys, as always, I want to answer 2-3 comments from my subscribers, so we'll start with Smile Friend. Damn, in the UK our allowance is £12,300 before you get taxed. If you have an ISA, you can put £20,000 a year into it and all that earnings is free. That is crazy in relation to Ireland. £12,300 before tax. Ireland is €1,270 before tax. That is absolutely ridiculous. Question number 2 from Benji. Well, it's not really a question. Sick video, James. A topic not enough people cover. Yeah, you're dead right there. PDT rules is never discussed. Hey James, great content you're putting out. I'm an international student studying in Ireland. I was wondering if you still need to pay capital gains tax. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you still do have to pay capital gains tax if you're not a resident in Ireland. So we check on Google here. Individuals will continue to be liable for Irish capital gains tax on any Irish gains or foreign gains to the extent that they are remitted to Ireland. So yeah, I think you do still have to pay capital gains tax if you're non-resident in Ireland but you're living in Ireland. So yes guys, the market has been bleeding for the last week and a half. The S&P 500 has fallen 4.5% from its all-time highs, so it is pretty big of a drop. Now this has been triggered by a couple of factors. So one of the factors will be Jerome Powell's speech. He's the chair of the Federal Reserve. Basically stated, once the economy reopens, inflation is coming. So that has caused a small bit of a scare. Also on top of this, the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 were heavily weighted on the tech sector. Now a lot of people do think the tech sector was overvalued, therefore a correction was bound to happen at some stage. With all these triggers together, these have sent stock prices tumbling down and have sent bond yields increasing on the daily. So there is a lot of market crash speculation on YouTube, in articles and on the media, basically stating that there's a market crash coming and this is just the start. Me personally, I think we're far from it. What we've seen back in February was a market crash. Now that was a 30% drop, and what we're seeing in the last few days was a maximum of 5% drop. So we're far from a market crash. We'll take a quick look at a quick video clip here. It's an interview with Cathie Woods. She is the CEO of ARK Investment. You'll be most familiar with her with her ETF, ARK ETF. So we'll take a quick look here now. Now in this interview, she talks about market correction and how it's connected to the S&P 500's forward PE ratio.
Fund and even other areas of the ETFs that you have. Are you worried that as rates go up, those stocks could come down?
Well, I do believe if rates were to take a sharp turn up, that we would see a valuation reset, and our portfolios would be prime candidates for that valuation reset, of course. Now, one of the things that I found interesting over the last really 20 years is that the S&P's PE ratio tends to peak out in the 20 to 25 times range of the forward earnings. We actually think normalized GDP growth is probably closer to 3. Now, if you think, and that's where long-term interest rates should stabilize.
So basically what she's getting at is once the PTE ratio hits 25 times the earnings, or a PTE ratio of 25, the market tends to correct. Now if we look on to what the forward PTE ratio of the S&P 500 is right now, you can see off of Google that S&P 500 PTE forward ratio is estimated at a current level of 25. She basically hit the nail on the head 2 weeks ago in an interview. What this all really means is basically the S&P 500 was rising too fast in a small amount of time and it couldn't be maintained.
With you, Scott, there will be a valuation reset. There will be fear, I'm sure, and we will use it to our benefit, concentrating our portfolio to our highest conviction names.
Yeah, so she closed off in saying there will be a valuation reset or correction in the market that we just seen in the last few days. Then she went on to say they will be focusing their portfolio, basically tightening their portfolio to the highest conviction names. So what this essentially means, they're going to reduce the amount of stocks in their ETF, focusing on stocks that they see are going to bounce back the fastest. Yeah, so guys, this is a simple market correction. The S&P 500 has been hitting higher highs and higher lows over the last 6 months. A correction like this is good, not for your portfolio on the short term, but for the stock market in the long term. Yeah, as soon as I start making the video, this fella wants to go fucking chainsaw like. Turn the fucking thing off, yeah? Good man. So moving on to this, is NEO a buy at 40? Yeah, so firstly, let me ask you a couple of questions about NEO. Have the fundamentals or values of NEO changed in the last 6 months? So have the aims and objectives of NEO changed in the last 6 months in regards to their market expansion into Europe and things like this? So the fact is NEO has been fallen not by internal factors, but by external factors with the stock market. Okay guys, just in case you don't remember what NEO is. NEO is one of the leading EV car manufacturers in China. Now this is a relatively brand new sector that is just starting to pick up speed. So if NEO can continue on its current path, it will definitely cement itself as a big time player in the rapidly growing EV sector over the next decade. In the next few years, I believe this section will be pushed a lot harder due to the urgency of the climate change and new government incentives to attract more of the public to get into EV cars. Now NEO has been leading the Chinese market for quite a while now. Now even though these companies were founded and started around the same time in 2014, NEO got a boost by becoming public in 2018, 2 years ahead of any other EV company. Now this in turn allowed NEO to raise capital in order for them to grow faster and further. Now NEO has many different advantages over its competitors. Some of these advantages would be the strong brand name NEO has, having both sedans and SUVs on the market. And one of my favourite advantages that NEO has is the BaaS model, the battery as a service model. This integrates a battery swapping system. Now what this means is batteries can be bought as a subscription. Instead of buying the car with the battery, you can essentially buy the car without the battery, drastically reducing the price of the car and then paying a subscription every month for the battery that you're renting. Now what this means is batteries can get changed out if they get worn. If a new type of battery comes out, that can be put into your car and things like this. So that is a serious advantage that NEO has over all of its competitors. Yeah, so guys, I've always said anytime an American company comes out with a product, the Chinese aren't too far behind with an even cheaper product and sometimes better product. Yeah, so guys, definitely I say NEO is a buy at $40. If you're new to the game, you should use this time as a buying opportunity and entry point. If you're already in the game, you should use this time to reduce your dollar cost average. Now NEO is not the only company that is in discount right now. There is other good quality companies that you should be able to pick up as well. We'll have a look at a few here. So you can see Palantir is down nearly 40% in the last month. We can see Plug Power here also down 40%. Virgin Galactic down nearly 50% in the last month, and then Tesla is down nearly 30% in the last month. Yeah, so guys, these are seriously discounted prices. You should be getting in on the action, reducing your dollar cost average, getting good entry points. Yeah, so guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you're going to buy in the next few days. As always, want to mention my Facebook Discord group, Revolut Trainer Journey. Go crack down there. Hit over 2,500 members, so go check it out. And with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next one.